Club of America. In 1990, they finally smartened up and had the Boys and Girls Club of America. So it took them a little long to get there, but they did. The kids we serve are in some of the toughest and roughest areas of New York City, some of the most disadvantaged. There is crime rates high, drugs are high, and the elements of gangs and violence are pervasive everywhere. There are neighborhoods where the pull of the streets are so strong that the will to really succeed is very low. I did one survey of one of the areas around our clubs, and in every week of that area, of that particular club, there's at least 20 felonies every week in that club. But at our clubs, the rates of happiness are high. The young members have all kinds of role models there, and the message is very clear. Your past does not determine your future, you determine your future. Your past doesn't determine who you will be, you determine who you will be. And we work really hard at not getting these kids stuck on where they came from and who they are at that moment in time. One of our goals is to help the kids to graduate from high school and to go on and become productive members of society. And to do that, we believe we have to teach them three things. One, they have to believe in themselves. Now, why is that so difficult? Well, if you've read the papers, you know that suicide rates are high, and a kid commits suicide when he believes that his life is actually not zero, but worth less than zero. That's when a kid is so despondent, so desperate, he thinks it's worse than that. It's below the bottom. So we, through a pat in the back, through validation, affirmation, anything we can, we give these kids the kind of acknowledgement that they need so they can believe in themselves because we believe in them. The second thing is that they are capable. We tell them they don't have to be the smartest kid in the room. They just have to be able to know how to work hard. And working hard is a habit that you learn, that you're taught. So we get them to think that they're capable of anything if they just want to roll up their sleeves and work hard enough. And sometimes the goal that they think they're going to is not the goal they're going to wind up with. It's a better goal, but you don't know until you strive for that goal where you may wind up. The third thing, which sounds perhaps a little funny, but we convince them that they have to drive their own bus. If they let somebody else drive their own bus, it's not going to make any difference where they wind up. They can wind up anywhere. They're no longer in charge. And the older they get, the more we convince them, the more we try to urge with them to believe in themselves, that they're capable of doing anything they want, but they've got to be in charge. They have to make the decisions and stick through it. Do not be a follower, be a leader. You don't have to be upfront to be a leader. So this is what we tell them every day, every activity we do, every minute. You know, through all our sneaky and clever ways of doing our activities, the messages are always there. Now, I like to say this message is working. We have a Project Graduate program, which is about helping kids to get to that high school diploma. 97% of the kids who are in that program for us graduate from high school. 97%. This is in a city where the average graduation rate is 63%. And in the neighborhoods where we serve, the average graduation rate is 40%. So we're really proud of this program, and the kids not only graduate, but they actually go on to college or a work degree or something else. But it's really a matter of, like I said, believing in them and helping them to do what really they are capable of doing. Note that this poor graduation rate in New York City translates into thousands of kids that don't graduate. Thousands. As a high school principal, if I had more than 10 kids not graduate, I was in a little trouble, you know, and I had to come up with a list of where each kid was going to go, what was the program. If he owed me one course to graduate. Then he was taking that course this summer in August. He was going to come in my office. We're going to have his parents there, have a little ceremony, and off he goes into a college in September. If he owed me more than 2 courses, like 4, okay, we did this in December. We'll sign him up for 2 courses in the summer, 2 courses in the fall, December, before Christmas. Comes to my office, we have a ceremony, and we do everything else. If the kid owes me more than 4 courses, we have a new plan. We're going to get you your GED, but we're also going to sign you up for a community college so that when you wake up day after Labor Day and all your friends are gone, you get someplace to go if you want to go. But my point here is we had a plan for everybody. When you have 20,000 kids not graduate, how do you have a plan for 20,000 kids? You know, and most of these kids are minorities. Well, I'm not just quoting these stats because I'm proud to be head of this organization, but I am. But I'm telling you this because I think the private sector has the potential to gain some insight into what they could do for kids, even more than what they do, but from the nonprofit world. I want to show you a picture here of my friend Wayne. He's an 11-year-old kid. Nice looking kid, nice smile, nice eyes. Wayne lives in a housing project which kind of gives him a bad start, so to speak. He lives in a 2-bedroom apartment with 3 brothers, a sister, a grandmother, and a mother. His father is no place to be found. In the morning, no breakfast. He wears the same clothes he wore the day before. He's a smart kid, and he's, however, in a class of 30 in a school that's been designated failing. He walks to school, but he takes the long way because there's a gang that always is waiting at that corner where he has to go, so he goes the long way. And last week when he was walking home from school, he wound up witnessing one of his friends getting shot in the leg. The drug deal gone bad. So he winds up going home where not only is there no food for his stomach, but there's no food for his brain and there's no food for his soul. He goes home alone. So what's it like to be Wayne? That's what it's like to be Wayne. And for thousands of kids in this city, they're torn apart, they're virtually in pieces. Now, nonprofits like Madison, we exist to help Wayne. And we try to provide, our mission is to save and enhance the lives of New York City kids who, because of social or economic factors, need our help the most. That's our mission. I've never forgotten that the first time I read that in 2004. So when a kid walks in our club, we say hi, right away, by name. It's amazing how kids like to hear their name not said in anger, not said in a threatening tone, not said in a bullying fashion, but said with acceptance, acknowledgement, love. He comes to our club. We help him with his homework. He sees old friends, makes new friends. He can play pool. He can play cards. He can play basketball. He can go swimming. He can play video games. He can play the Wii. He shares how he feels. He shares how he thinks. He can be himself. He can be himself. He can become whole again. So at the end of the day, when he goes back home, you know, our job is to kind of put him back how he came. I mean, that's what we're trying to do. Now, I'm not a very good magician, and it's not really magic of that kind, but we call it Madison magic. And it's the atmosphere. It's the culture that we've created at the club that really helps. And we do it every day, and I think the sooner individuals and organizations get involved in the life of children, the better off everybody is.